What was it personally for you? Why were you down in the dumps, and what demons were you like trying to fight in your head?
At the time, I was just really comfortable with doing nothing, just going to work, coming home, getting some fast food, drinking some beers, not really getting any physical activity in. So I was just consistently inside my own head all the time, to where I thought I was winning because I was making money. I was like, yo, I'm making money. You know, I can go wherever I want. I can buy whatever I want. I thought that was success when I was really wrong. Success is actually becoming the best version of yourself, whether that's through trial and error or through just searching for a new option. But I feel like at the time, I just felt so comfortable with living my day-to-day life that I didn't give myself room to grow or to find myself, truly.
Yeah, yeah. And we were talking before this, and of course, we're gonna get into it.
Right.
You know, you have a story, just pretty much kind of like mine. You know, it's almost like the pathway, I guess.
Yeah.
Like with the DUIs, it's almost like, oh, okay, he went through the ringer. It's almost like people, and I'm gonna say like us, like, you know, alcoholics and
Right.
you know, alcoholism. It gets the best of us sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
But it's either a story of, obviously, of regret or a DUI of some sorts.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your story, man. Like growing up in California, were you like a troublemaker? Did you drink a lot? What's the story behind that, man?
Honestly, I didn't really start drinking until later in life. Till I was in a very toxic relationship. We'll start right there. That's kind of where everything kind of began. Once I got out of that, I kind of just became a drunk. Just started trying to escape my own mind through alcohol. Just getting drunk right after work. Not really training, not really trying to do anything better for myself. And then I was actually sitting at a bar one day, drunk out of my mind. And you know how they have those jukeboxes where you put like $1 and pick a song or whatever?
Yeah.
I put a Tupac song, Hit 'Em Up. And some guy was
classic.
talking shit like 3-4 seats down. He's like, oh, dude, that song sucks. And, you know, you're drunk. You're like, oh, what do you mean, bro? That song. And then he's like, nah, dude, I'm just kidding. That's a badass song you picked. And turns out the guy I was talking to was Jiu Jitsu legend Dan Camarillo. You know, he's a black belt. Him and his brother are very successful in the martial arts community. And I was just kind of talking to him about what was going on in my life. And he's like, why don't you come train tomorrow? I'm like, train what? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, why don't you come try this jiu-jitsu class? And I had watched, you know, UFC, but I was very ignorant to martial arts at the time. And yeah, bro, sure enough, I went to try a class the next day. It was a gi class. I went with the t-shirt and shorts. I felt, you know, like the odd one out. Felt kind of scared, you know, 232 pounds at the time. Just didn't know what to expect, but I knew I was headed in the right direction. I just felt the energy in the room at the time. And yeah, went there, never looked back, and I've been training ever since.
So is the reason why you think you got into martial arts because you were fucking up in life? Is that, or did you just want to go just because everyone has a different reason for it. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of those Rocky stories, you know, where it's like, oh man, my life is down in the dumps and I have to do something about this. For me personally, it was just like, I thought it just looked cool.
Right.
Like I just wanted to be a badass.
Yeah.
Like fucking, you know, I was watching Mike Tyson at that time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao growing up
Right.
for him. I was like, man, I want to get some ladies and fucking, I thought, you know what I mean? Like,
The status
I wanna
of it
look
all.
tough. Yeah, the
For
status
sure.
of it all. So it wasn't necessarily that I was a troubled kid, but I don't think it was particularly for that reason.
Yeah, you know, I had a rough childhood growing up, but nothing crazy. Sure, just like everyone else did. But for me, it was more of a jiu-jitsu found me, bro. Martial arts found me. Like I said, I grew up watching Bruce Lee and all that stuff growing up, which is cool. Everyone else did. But jiu-jitsu found me. Like, had I not been sitting in that bar one day, who knows if I would have ever trained. So I was kind of in the right place at the right time, bro. Like, yes, I was dealing with my demons, dealing with alcohol and getting drunk, but there was an angel in that room that day that told me, hey, come train on these mats where it can change your life. And, you know, after the first class, I knew immediately. I went to the front desk. I'm like, sign me up right now. Like, I don't need to do a trial class. I don't need to do nothing. And I did it because after that, I just felt like I had a purpose. You know, I was just making money, working all the time. I didn't really have any hobbies besides drinking. So I'm like, damn, this is kind of a positive outlet for me. And honestly, I didn't even do it to lose weight or anything. It kind of just happened on its own.
Interesting.
Like over the months came, I'm like, yo, like how did I just lose 15, 20 pounds like that fast?
Yeah.
And it was honestly just staying consistent. And after that, I just fell in love with jiu-jitsu, the art of it, you know, getting choked and all that stuff. Not necessarily getting choked, but, you know, like the whole aspect of being vulnerable. Yeah. I'm like, pause, big pause. No. Just knowing that I can be vulnerable in a place where people are willing to learn just like myself. And eventually it'll be something better. And yeah, bro, I fell in love. I started going to all the classes. 6 months after that, I competed in my first tournament. So it was just kind of the lifestyle of a martial artist that I fell in love with. And honestly, dude, it changed my life. And I would recommend it to anyone struggling right now to find a gym. You don't have to do jiu-jitsu. You know, there's Muay Thai, there's boxing, there's wrestling classes, or even just a gym if you want to lift some weights. Just be physically more active. But jiu-jitsu definitely did it for me. Just keeping my mind busy, because I feel like when I'm on those mats, like nothing else is important, good or bad. I'm just, you know, fighting out of this submission or trying to find this heel hook or, you know, just trying to take in more knowledge and find an escape where it's in a healthy way.
Yeah, you know, interesting enough, a lot of people, I think it's getting more popularized now. A lot of people are finding jujitsu because, you know, of all the, like ADCC,
Right.
It's coming up, CJI, which just came up. A lot of people, and they still kind of are and probably are.
Right.
And especially women, you know,
Yeah,
obviously.
of course.
They're scared to kind of get grabbed, right? When you're in that close proximity and then you're kind of on top of each other.
Right.
And yeah, it's just an
Pause,
uncomfortable
nah.
feeling. Yeah, exactly. Even for me when I started jiu-jitsu, because I started with Muay Thai, and I know there's clinching, but I mean, to take it to the floor and then you see the mount, which is when you get on top of someone,
Right.
full on, it just looks very, very strange.
Yeah.
So knowing that, what really got you to try out jiu-jitsu? Like, were you skeptical of it at first, or were you just like, fuck it, man, I'll just go in there? Or did you hear that it was good for you? Did you watch, you know, grappling before that, or you had no idea what jiu-jitsu was?
I was a big MMA fanatic. I would never miss a UFC card.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about that is when people start jiu-jitsu, I don't know, and I'm sure you can relate to this. I don't know how many white belts, as they say, or people that have started training that have literally quit. You know, they try one class, they try a month, they try 2 weeks, and they just don't have the capacity or time for themselves to want to learn it. And dude, jiu-jitsu is one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I feel like the complexity of it all made me fall in love with it more. Like, yo, like, how did I just get armbarred from this? Like, how did that just happen? I guess just trying to learn that.
Yeah.
And just literally be a student, you know, because not a lot of people are willing to be a student. They want to show up the first day and automatically, oh, dude, you know, like I learned some shit. But then they realize how tough it is and they get weeded out on their own, you know. Some of them come back. Some of them you'll never see their face again. Like, I don't remember the guy's name, but when I first started at Syndicate, I had a really good friend. He was training there for like about a month and then he disappeared. I never saw him again. I can't remember his name. It's like Kevin or something. I don't know. But he was really good. He was talented, and then he just, for whatever reason, whatever he had going in his life, he just didn't want to do it anymore. And I could understand why. You know, it's tough. A lot of people don't like to be in those type of vulnerable positions. But I feel like when you give yourself time to grow and to experience something new, it can be beneficial to yourself and to others, because then you could explain that to others and maybe they can relate to wanting to learn something new. And from there, it's just another ball game. You're just starting to learn, I guess, and then they can tell their friends, they tell their friends, and then next thing you know, you get a bunch of good training partners from people based off hearing your experience.
I want to kind of touch up on what you just said, because you were saying that a lot of people, like, fuck, I wish I had statistics for it.
Yeah.
But this is kind of every endeavor almost in life that's worth doing or you have to be consistent in.
Right.
Is that most people, and this isn't to knock on them, you know, I know people have families, people have lives, shit happens along the way. But a lot of them start for the wrong reasons. And I think that's just number one, is that's the biggest draw, right? Number one's the belt system.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and even though it incentivizes you in a way, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm blue belt now. Oh, fucking great. And then you feel like the man for like 2 weeks. And then it just fucking goes, and you're getting armbarred again.
Yeah.